What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Michael's Weird Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making something that's not really that weird, but I feel I'm making it for the family for dinner. Now, here in the Denham Springs suburb of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we have a little local grocery chain called Carter's. And occasionally they have a one-day meat sale where you can only buy meat that one day. And I scored a week ago. I went, after I had gotten home from work, I mowed the grass and everything, took a shower, and then I went over there. I got like $60 worth of meat. But when I say $60 worth of meat, I got like 8 pork steaks, a dozen pork chops, 2 packages of breast tenderloins. I got a steal. It was insane. As I'm going to show you the price on this meat. Look closely. $6.24 for this big ass pack. Look at this. It's got 4 of them in it. That's a steal. So we're going to cook them here on the Weird Kitchen. So let me put some butter in my pan, as I enjoy doing, so it doesn't stick. Alrighty. Turn the stove on. I'm gonna unwrap the packaging here. My dog is going insane in the living room. I don't know why, but it's probably something stupid. She's always going crazy when people are outside. Throw that wrapper away. I'm gonna move this around, let the butter go around the pan. And just a programming note, I live here in Louisiana, as you all know, so I'm a huge crawfish lover, love crawfish. So crawfish season is usually February through June here, where people buy sacks and sacks of crawfish, and they have what we call a crawfish boil with a lot of people at the house. You people in Florida know, y'all have shrimp boils and seafood boils. This one has crawfish. And of course you can cook whatever else you want. But we get a big pot and we, pour them in there and everything. Anyway, I'm thinking of having one and filming it for an episode of Michael's Weird Kitchen. So I hope I can provide y'all with that great content. That's one of the many great ideas I have coming up for my channel. I want to do so much. Anyway, so the butter is melted. I'm going to throw the first one in the pan. Ooh, they still have the bones on them. That's cool. These things are huge. Look at this. 4 of these for $6.24. Plus tax, but still. That's still a steal. What in the world? Now, you want to make sure you have your settings all high. You want the highest setting you can have on the burner. And I have natural gas, so I have a natural gas stove, not an electric. And actually, in my experience, this works better than an electric stove. Which is funny because I'm really not a fan of natural gas. I don't like natural gas. I think it's very dangerous. If people don't know what they're doing, you can burn the damn house down. What if my kids want to cook on the stove? Oh my God. The fears are there. But at the same token, it does cook a lot faster than an electric stove would. So. In the world? Okay. So, I'm going to be adding things to this as well while I'm cooking it. Of course, you want to season it and all that. Got some garlic powder. So I'm going to be putting garlic on the surface. And you know what? While that's cooking, hold on a minute. I'll be right back. So I also want to marinate them. I have smoky applewood marinade. So I'm looking for a bag. I don't seem to have. Yes. I don't seem to have any Ziploc bags, so I'm going to go about this a much different way. Take a bowl out of the thing there, and I'm going to take these two, read the directions when I start mixing them. You need to get a measuring glass. Then you pour vegetable oil into the measuring cup. As it says how much to do. And my tongs, I'm going to flip this over. Oh shit. Yes, don't leave it on there too long on one side because you don't want to burn it and have it stick to the pan. Okay, so I have my oil, 2/4. Then I'm going to rip this open. Let me do this here for y'all to see. Okay. All right, I've emptied both packages. Now, I'm doing this the hard way so that I can show y'all how it works. And I just made a mistake, but it's all right. I'm going to take this. I'm going to pour it into the cup there. get a spoon. Okay. Now I need 2 tablespoons of water. So we can do that. Get your 2 tablespoons of water. Then you need 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which I have right here. Pour that in there. And then you mix. You mix it all together until it's mostly liquidy. And that's your marinade. I'm going to turn this off right now. Alright, actually, I'm going to turn it back on. It's alright. Now, I don't seem to have much here. Okay, I do. I have a big old bowl. So, I'm going to put these 3 remaining pork steaks in this bowl. God, look at the size of these things. Jesus. I still can't get over $6.24. All right, so I'm going to take this marinade and I'm going to pour it over them, at least most of it. I'm going to take a small portion and put it in here on this pork steak. See, I wasn't thinking properly before I started this video. What you really want to do is take them raw right out of the packaging, make your marinade, put them in a Ziploc bag, then pour the marinade in, shake them all up, and let it sit in the refrigerator for about an hour or 2, and then start cooking them. But for the sake of a video of showing how to make them, I kind of did it the wrong way, but that's okay. Because this is Michael's Weird Kitchen, and we're weird here. Now, the 3 that are in the bowl, you want to swish them around and get the marinade all over them. Get them nice and juicy and marinated. The one I'm cooking here, I'm going to flop over. Yeah, I just made a mistake. Licked my fingers and it had the vinegar in it. Oh, that's terrible. I have apple juice I'm drinking here. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. So, I'm going to now flop this one on over. And I'm going to pour the rest of it on the other side. You're going to want to spread it around like I'm doing here. This is if you didn't pre-marinate it. If you didn't pre-marinate it like I just told you to, you're going to have to do a little doctoring. I spread it all over the hunk of steak. That'll doctor it up. And as it's cooking, it'll bake all that in there. Yeah. And I'm going to put some more garlic on the back side of the steak. Alrighty. You just wait a little bit. So, I've been wondering what I should talk to you about today. What's some oddball, random thing to talk about today? Okay. I can say this. I was listening to Shannon Burke for the last 3 hours on Florida Man Radio, and I heard this woman. As you all know, I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm proud. I'm a proud piece of garbage, as they say. I have my reasons, but you know. But the liberal responses are hilarious. So he played some clips of these crazy people, and I've been seeing them circulating on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, Facebook. This woman was saying her parents had voted for Trump. So she was no longer going to let them see their granddaughter and her. She was never going to talk to them ever again whatsoever. They were going to be excommunicated from her life for the treason that they committed in their vote. It was like, aren't you taking this a little too far? Then she continues on saying that she's bisexual and her husband is bisexual, and she's afraid that her parents are going to turn them in. Turn them in for what? Last I checked, it's not a crime to be bisexual or gay or anything else you want to be. Like, what in the world? Those aren't crimes, moron. But, you know. So she's going to excommunicate her and her immediate family from her parents because they voted for Trump. Then there was another one who was saying that my parents don't know what they've done. She had her head in her hands, crying. They don't know what they've done. What have they done? And she goes on to say, well, I'm not talking to any of them ever again. I'll move out and forge my own life, and I don't need them, and all this kind of stuff. She's 16 years old. She can't go anywhere. She's a minor. Some of these responses are funny. And let me tell you, Jimmy Kimmel crying on national television. I mean, look, as you all know, I use an over-the-air antenna for my local channels on my TV. And I get all of them except for our local ABC and CBS stations. There's a problem with the signal on those. They're also VHF. And I've got one of those wide, flat antennas I just tack up on the wall, and it sits there. In the bedroom, it's in the window, but the same thing. Every other station comes in flawlessly, 90 to 100%. But ABC and CBS don't even register. The signals are so weak. There's a couple of independents in Baton Rouge as well I can't pick up because they're weak, low-power stations, but whatever. We get our local Fox, NBC, and PBS, as well as our local CW is the main CW channel is extremely weak in Baton Rouge, but as a result, they put a separate feed of it onto the Fox affiliate as a sub channel. So 44.1 here is Fox 44, and then 44.2 is the CW. So we even get that thanks to that situation. A lot of the signals here in Baton Rouge are horrible. When I lived in Orlando, we had an antenna up on the roof. I got everything at maximum reception, of course. But here, there's a lot of issues. The infrastructure here is backwards. Everything is old, unkept. But there's hope coming with ATSC 3.0 as the new standard. I understand in Orlando, they already have it. Every station there is 3.0. Here we go again. Louisiana is left behind. They say 79% of the country already has ATSC 3.0 signals. Not Louisiana. I think there's a few there's like one in New Orleans, but that's about it. Baton Rouge has nothing. And Baton Rouge is our local city that we get channels from. But anyway, I'm getting off of the subject here. So, that video of Jimmy Kimmel crying to the audience, you just don't know what you voted for. That's exactly what we're voting against, you moron. We're tired of rich people, elitists, that have everything, telling us, the poor people, how to vote for things that help us. See, the things that they're like, oh, well, immigration's, they're just going to be mass deportations, and they're going to throw out Abuelas and Abuelas. That's what we voted for. We want that. If you're not a criminal, you're fine. They're even lying on national news stations saying that they're going to deport U.S. citizens. You can't deport U.S. citizens. Now, the U.S. citizen could go with the deported, for instance, if they do it with kids, they can go with the parents back to the country they were from, but guess what? The kids will be allowed to come back because they're U.S. citizens. See? They can't just deport U.S. citizens. That is a BS lie, and the media should just be ashamed of themselves. The liberal tears are so great. The thing is, too, he has a mandate. We voted for this. The thing is, people need to realize, too, go into a history book, okay? Read up on the Democrat Party. They were the party that birthed the Ku Klux Klan. They were the party that did Jim Crow laws when LBJ was president. LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson. What's his most famous saying? I'm going to censor myself because I really don't want to say the word. I care. But it has to be noted. He said, I will have those N-words voting Democrat for 400 years. What does 400 years refer to? I'm not going to tell you because you should be able to figure it out. And you know, it's interesting. I have read Malcolm X, his works and everything. Some of them I like, some of them I think are a little off, but times have changed too. But even he was saying, stay away from these Dixiecrats, these Democrats. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. They act like they care about you, but it's all underhanded. And I'm guessing nobody, for all the people that love and talk about Malcolm X, they didn't listen to him. He told you to stay away from these people. But anyway, so that's that. All the freakouts and everything are totally ridiculous. And you know, I'm going to also go into, yes, just like I mentioned, the racism of the left. Now, a lot of these Democrats, like all these moronic kids posting these videos online and everything, the hoods are off. They're all being racist. They're telling them, hey, black person, you ready to pick cotton? Yeah, you're going to pick cotton. Yada, yada. Like, there was a white girl who had a nose ring, blue hair, and she literally made the comment, y'all need to go pick cotton for your massa. I mean, it's amazing how if you don't vote the way that they want you to, it immediately becomes racist. Like, so for all their talk about the Republicans being racist and all this, no. Because I defy you to go back. You want to know why Trump won all these ethnic groups? Because Trump refers to people as just that, people. We're all Americans, okay? We're not this American, that American, this group, this. We're all Americans, and we can all help each other. Whereas the Democrats put everybody in a box. This is black people, African Americans, these are Latinos, this and that. Every group, gays, every group, and they all cater to them in an individual fashion. Trump doesn't. He says that we're all Americans and we will all work together to benefit ourselves. And people respond to that message. They love it. Okay, the first one is done. So we're going to take it out and put it on the plate. I might put this here so that y'all can see them. Maybe not. Okay, well, I'll put it on the side here anyway. And now I'm going to put the second one on. Woo, listen to that. Sizzle, baby. But yes, that's why people love Trump. Because he includes everybody. And that's one thing, if you've seen my Facebook page a couple of weeks ago, I put a post on there, kneeling down on the ground in a work vest, saying I was a proud piece of garbage after Biden made the comment that all Trump supporters are garbage. And for the record, there was no way to politic him out of that. Those are the exact words he said. The only garbage I see are his supporters. You got people going on television saying, oh, there was an apostrophe at the end. He wasn't talking about them. I had it on C-SPAN, which I thought was a neutral network. I was wrong. They had some fat doofus on there. Someone had called in and said that they were hurt by that comment, and he goes, I know that's what you think you heard, sir, but that's not what you heard. Now, of course, this doofus is some high-ranking position. He was wearing a suit with a ring, the whole nine. Like, dude, that's what we're tired of. These rich elite millionaires and billionaires telling us, the poor people, how we should manage our lives. It's not the same. They don't have to worry about anything. They're set forever. But anyway, then he got into some stuff. Well, it's not possessive. I couldn't even understand what he was saying. He's like, there's an apostrophe at the end, so it's not possessive. What the hell does that mean? Nobody knows what you're talking about. All they know is they heard him say, the only garbage I see are his supporters. And it cut off there. There's no, you can't read, you can't hear punctuation, dude. So it doesn't matter how he said it, he said it. But anyway, that's what we're voting against, are these rich elites telling us what we should do when they don't have to worry about anything. They're set for life. It's actually offensive. It really is. I just canceled, and it's funny, I had just picked up a subscription a month and a half ago to Hulu Plus Live TV, because I was missing a cable experience. I wanted to watch Turner Classic Movies, and I wanted my local ABC and CBS that I couldn't receive over the antenna. I just canceled it this afternoon. I'm tired of this. Every news station you flip to, they're bashing us, calling us racist, misogynist, homophobic. I'm not paying these people to insult me, okay? And I noticed that Turner Classic Movies has also changed. They're not as good as they used to be. It's mostly automated, and they've added movies from within the last 20 years and all that. I like the old black and whites, the old I like the old silent films up until the 80s, you know? So I do have a Criterion Channel collection. Sorry, I said that wrong. There's the Criterion Collection, for those of y'all who know, which is a home video distribution company that specializes in very important historical classic film. They created a channel called the Criterion Channel. It's a streaming internet channel. You pay $10.99 a month or $99.99 a year, and you get what they stream on their streaming service. And it's been really good lately. The selections, I like how they do this. They do like that. They'll take a star and they'll create a whole like movie festival bundle collection for you to watch. Like they'll have a selection called starring Andy Bergman, you know, and then they'll have like 20 to 30 films of his in the collection, and you could just watch them at your convenience, one by one. That's really neat, you know. That's right up my alley. Turner Classic Movies, see, they used to have a service called Filmstruck. That's got a very rich history. Being a classic film fan as I am, we get the shaft every time. I'm going to put some garlic on this. So in 2012, about 12 years ago, the Warner Archive collection, which is similar to the Criterion, but it's all Warner Brothers movies. Warner Archive launched their own streaming service called Warner Archive Instant. I immediately subscribed to it upon its launch, and I had it for years. I had it until 2019. I think it was February. Sadly, they had closed it down February of 2018. Sorry, I said 2019. I was wrong. 2018. So, they had moved all of the content on it over to a new service called Filmstruck, launched by TCM. And anybody who was a Warner Archive subscriber was immediately a subscriber of TCM's Filmstruck. Sounds great. I love it. On top of that, that's where the Criterion channel was born, because they had an add-on for the Criterion collection. I remember it was $6.99 for the basic TCM package, and then $10.99 a month if you wanted the Criterion collection add-on. I only got the TCM because that's all I was interested in. Well, they did that for a couple months, and then in October of that same year, they announced that they were shutting down Filmstruck. That thing didn't even last 1 year. And fans of the Criterion collection were pissed off, because of course that went with it. So that shut down a month later in November of 2018. Had a huge outcry though from all kinds of people. Regular Joes. Barbara Streisand was upset and said a bunch of stuff about it, and I mean it was a mess. But anyway, getting back to my point, it shut down. So in 2018, I had no classic movie streaming service once that shut down in November. Well, in December, we get the announcement that the following year, the Criterion channel is going to launch. In April or May, I forget which one, but comment on. They launched it in April or May of 2019. Now, I didn't know much about the Criterion collection. All I knew was it involved art house and grindhouse films, and that wasn't really my thing. I'm into classic Hollywood. That's what I like, classic Hollywood. So, I didn't get it upon its launch. I just left it alone. And actually, up until 2023, I never subscribed to it. Well, I finally gave it a shot in 2023, and I'm glad I did, because I discovered it really is. If you have cable and you're looking for a TCM replacement, and you only want to pay for that TCM replacement, the Criterion channel is the way to go. No, it doesn't have around-the-clock old black and whites and all that kind of stuff, no. But if you're someone like me that works for a living and is always gone, I can watch everything in these collections at my convenience. Most of them stay there for a couple of months before they disappear and rotate somewhere else. It's a good investment. It's only, like I said before, $10.99 a month or $99.99 a year. So I recommend you check it out. But anyway, now I gotta go back to what I was talking about before that. So I canceled my Hulu Live TV. I'm saving $82 a month, which is fine. I'm happy to save that much. It's a lot of money. And see, with the state of television today, it's not worth it. I noticed that TCM is completely pretty much automated. There's the occasional host spot, but that's all going to disappear. Adult Swim is completely automated now. That was another favorite channel of mine. All the channels that I loved are pretty much automated now. Second one's done, I'm going to throw the third one on. Which is really sad, you know. I grew up with cable television, loved it. And, you know, it's all going away. That sucks. But that's progress. You know, like I said, I get all my local channels free with the antenna that I'm able to get. And I enjoy those. NBC the most. NBC is my favorite. So much so that I'm happy I get it on the antenna with no issues, and I pay for their Peacock streaming service, which is basically more NBC. Yay! And a lot more. It also has all the new theatrical releases from NBC Universal. That's a big bonus. I need to sit down in the near future, at least in the next month, and watch Despicable Me 4. It's on there now. But, yeah, with all that, I just don't see a need for the live TV. And the thing that got me to do it, to cancel it, is all these news anchors pointing their finger at me, calling me a bigot, a racist, a misogynist. You know what? Go to hell. And I'm not going to even pay you for it. Go to hell, and I'm taking my money back with me. My wallet, my choice. So, now we have Disney Plus, the Criterion Channel, Peacock, and on the side I have the Shannon Burke Patreon service, as well as the SiriusXM subscription. That's all I pay for. Everything else is free. And there are free streaming services I love as well. Tubi being one of them. Tubi's awesome. So, I'm going to pour a little more garlic on this one. So yeah, I mean, I'm leaving live TV in the past. Cable, all that stuff, it's gone. You might as well just get the $10.99 or the $19.99 Disney bundle with or without ads, whichever you prefer, and a Peacock subscription with ads or without, same thing. And call it a day, man. Another bonus of Peacock is they throw in a live stream of our local NBC affiliate. So, being that I get it in over the air with an antenna, due to this being a rent house, I can't put an antenna on the roof. So I have one of those big wide wall antennas hanging on the wall and in the window in the bedroom. And yes, it gets the signal between 90 and 100% strength, but when it rains, we get issues. And people that have had satellite TV, you know what I'm talking about. So every time it rains, it does kind of start going, but it's only when it rains. If it's not raining and there's no rain in the forecast anywhere, it comes in 100% no problem. So, yeah. Listen to that sizzle. So, yeah. So, I finally canceled all that. I don't care. I'm tired of it. I think it's ridiculous the way our media is acting and all these crazy people. They don't get it. They don't have to take the brunt of the bad policies that they want. We do. See, Sunny Hostin on The View, always talking about, oh, her poor, hard life. Her son went to the beach and was called the N-word as he ran down the beach, which I don't believe. But whatever. Her son is in an Ivy League school, Harvard. She lives in a gated mansion. Go figure. So those policies are not going to affect her. They're going to affect the average person. And the same goes for any of these people on television. All of these people. It's ridiculous. And now that Tom Homan has been elected as the border czar, they're all freaking out. I heard Ana Navarro today say, we screwed around and now we're going to find out. Bitch, that's what we voted for. We're not going to find out anything. You screwed around and now you're going to find out. And you know, the more I see this stuff, these rich people, these elitists, they're advocating for people to come into this country illegally. They're advocating for people who have committed crimes. They want more crime. It's insane to me. It blows my ever-loving mind. But it is what it is. Pull a little bit off that. It just blows my mind that these people haven't learned a thing. They should have learned from this, but they haven't. Instead, they're just going to poke the finger at the viewer and accuse them of all kinds of atrocities, which most of them didn't even vote for some of that stuff. There was so, first off, before Trump was reelected, when they were campaigning, the left was all about abortion. That was the big issue. And that was BS. We know it's not. Women's reproductive rights is a lie. That has nothing to do with what they're campaigning for on abortion. What they want is taxpayer funding to these organizations like Planned Parenthood and all these other ones who perform abortions. It's got nothing to do with your body and your autonomy and your reproductive rights. That's all bullshit. What they want is your taxpayer dollars. And I, for one, refuse. I don't want to pay for that. You effed around, you find out. Seriously. My wallet, my choice. And look, women can get them if they are in extreme circumstances, like if they were raped or it was incest. Nobody is against that, okay? We could find ways to help with that. But I am against any kind of just, oh, I would like an abortion, please. Yeah, I'm against that. I shouldn't have to pay for that. You did that act. You should pay for it. The thing is, I think they know private donations, those places will never survive. Because nobody wants to pay for that. That's why they want it as a federal mandate, a federal takeover. And it's wrong. See, here's the thing, and people get upset when I say this. I'm not against abortion, okay? That is your body. You're right, your body. And if you can live with yourself, if you have that, by all means, have at it. I could be a lot uglier in my response. Give me the hanger, I'll shove it up there for you. No, but seriously. But why should the U.S. taxpayer be on the hook for that? Why? I believe that's just wrong. You've got half of this country that doesn't believe in it on a moral fiber or religious fiber, Why should they be forced to pay for that? That's their money that they work hard for. I honestly believe our taxpayer system, the whole tax system, should get revised, and we should go over all the shit that we pay for in this country and really go through it and weed out the stuff like abortion. Give it back to the states. Again, that's something I like what the Supreme Court did for abortion. They gave it back to the states. So the people vote on it. If the majority wants it, they'll get it. If the majority doesn't, they won't get it. And yes, they'll have to go to another state. Guess what? That's America. You go to another state if it's illegal in yours. But of course, they're not gonna let that happen. It's all about federal government control. And that's why they hate Trump. Because Trump isn't about that. He's for states' rights, as I am. He's for the people getting a say in what affects them. That's what states' rights is. Let the people vote on the issues that affect them. You're going to have states that vote yes, and you're going to have states that vote no. That's the will of the people. That is America. Freedom, baby. But of course, they don't want that because they know the result would be that they could never raise enough money to keep those abortion clinics open. So they steal your money from you to pay for it. Real sad, huh? All right, this one's done. Throw that on here. Gonna do the last one here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour this in there. So that's my view on that. I don't know who agrees, who doesn't agree. But I'm sure Democrats would hate that. Pretty sure of that. But, oh well. I'm an American. Freedom of speech. Which has been eroded. I don't give a damn what you say. But that's a topic for another show. So, what did I do with my tongs? Here they are. So that's my view on that. But, so now I need a new topic. I only have like one steak left, so I don't know what the topic's going to be. I hope y'all enjoy my drivel here. Man, I can't wait for Christmas, you know. Hopefully tonight after we eat, my wife and kids and I are able to set the tree. We've set the tree up. The lights are on it. We just need to put the ornaments and the tinsel and all that on. I hope we can do that tonight after dinner. I want to get that done. I'm a huge Christmas guy. I love Christmas. It's my favorite time. Excuse me. The holidays are my favorite time. Like, I love Halloween. So from October 31st all the way through January 2nd, let's say, I love it. I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. I love New Year's. I love it all. Which is one reason why the only streaming services I have are Disney Plus, Peacock, and the Criterion Channel. because all three are the biggest Christmas content providers ever. I love them. Like last year, Barry Manilow did an NBC special, A Very Merry Christmas. It was on NBC, it aired, and then it was on Peacock for a little while to stream. It's been gone all this year. Hopefully it comes back to Peacock this month or next month, but it is going to re-air, I think, December 19th on your local NBC channel. So look it up. You know, I actually saw that show in Orlando in 2018. Yeah. December, I don't remember the exact date, but it was December something in 2018 he did it. And my parents bought me and Jess tickets to it. No, they didn't. Scratch that. I bought the tickets myself that time. In 2016, we went to see him, and they bought the tickets then for the One Last Time tour. But in 2018, when he came back to Orlando for A Very Merry Christmas, I paid for those tickets. And had very good seats, too. But I saw that show. So when we were watching it last year on NBC, it was exactly what we saw. Because, of course, he doesn't really change it at all. It's all rehearsed and all that. And so, y'all all know I'm a huge Barry Manilow fan. I've seen him 5 times in concert already. Saw him for the first time in Las Vegas in 2007. Then I saw him again here in Baton Rouge in 2014. He played the what do they call it? Little River or something like that. I don't remember what they call it here now. The name has changed since then. Now it's called the Caines Center. But he played Baton Rouge in 2014. I saw him then for the second time. We moved to Orlando that same year. I saw him again in 2016 in Orlando for his One Last Time tour. Then I saw him again for the 4th time for his A Very Merry Christmas. Then finally, in 2023, last year in January, I went to visit my parents in Orlando, and my dad bought me and my mother tickets to his The Hits 2023 show. So that was the 5th time seeing him. And look, I'll go again if he plays wherever I can be for a 6th time. I'm a huge Barry Manilow fan. Huge. I own all of his albums on vinyl. And I'm just a fan of his work. His music it really resonates with me for reasons I don't think a lot of people think about. Like, he does songs about old people that are just together for the sake of being together and not splitting. They're old and they don't want to rock the boat. I mean, the stuff he wrote about is just incredible, and it resonates with me. I think his best 2 albums are his first and second album. Seriously. All right, so we're going to trim this off now. The 4th one is done. So I'm going to throw it up on this plate. Okay, now, I know what you're going to ask now, but Michael, what about steak sauce? A1, baby. So now our dinner is made. I've had a really good last couple of weeks. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this about the Carter's meat sale. That saved us a shitload of money. Then last Saturday, we got a deal from our local grocery called Albertsons. They're right down the road, and they've got a deal. I don't know if it's still going now, but if you bought $70 worth of groceries, you got a free turkey with it, and the turkey's huge. So we ended up scoring. We went in there, we spent $130 on groceries. Filled a basket. And when we were done, we're members of their, what they call U Rewards. So we use that when we shop there, and we save a lot of money, because I don't know how they can afford to do this, because it's a free membership. You don't have to pay anything. It's a rewards program. We paid $130, but we ended up saving $144. So our basket cost us $130, but we walked out of there with over $300 worth of stuff. I mean, that's crazy. But a good example was we got a pack of 4 New York strip steaks. We paid like $9 for it. And it had 17 something on the package. But again, we've got those rewards, and the points add up quick. You can use them, redeem them for cash off. And I tell you what, I love Albertsons. I don't know how they can afford to do that, but whatever. I also love all the competitors. I work for Walmart, as you know, and I love Hi Neighbor, which is also right down the street, and Carter's. Carter's is, it's funny, we live one exit over from Baton Rouge, and the Hi Neighbor and Albertsons are at that exit. So, I mean, where we live is very strategic. I love living where we live in Denham Springs. It's right by the interstate, right off the interstate. Then if we want to go to Albertsons or Hi Neighbor or Baton Rouge in general, you hop on the interstate, one exit over, bam, you're there. The minute you get on the interstate, you enter East Baton Rouge Parish. And there you are. We live in a great area. All right, so the steaks are made. Me and my family are going to enjoy them. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to my weird bullshit. And I will see you again later on Michael's Weird Kitchen.